The prisoner pulls the hacksaw 20 times, then stops his movement, and cautiously listens for any sounds around, because if the guards discover them, the escape plan would fail completely. They might even lose their lives. But this grate happens to be made of metal. It can't be sawed through quickly. He has to take turns working with his partner. With their combined effort, the grate is finally cut after half an hour. Then they eagerly climb through the window, entering what looks like a basement. They wanted to find an exit, but after searching found nothing. Every possible way out was locked with an iron door. Left with no choice, the man first fixes the grate back. Right then, he spots a pile of discarded windows. The metal bolts can be sawed off to make a key, but after just 2 cuts, footsteps of guards echo from above. They quickly hide. Turns out 2 guards on duty sneaked into the basement to smoke, yet they'd never expect. 2 prisoners were stacked like acrobats, cleverly hidden around the corner, but before they could catch their breath, the guards return. Luckily nothing seems amiss. Once the guards leave, they don't waste a second. The man pulls out the saw and gets back to work. After half an hour of effort, the bolt is finally cut free. The man bends it forcefully, then walks straight to the iron door, skillfully inserting it into the lock. With a sharp click, the lock actually opens easily. They light their oil lamp and step into the damp, dark basement. Though the flame is dim and faint, it's enough to light their path to freedom. And to their delight, they find every lock here is identical. With the master key's help, they quickly locate their target, the iron door leading to the city sewers. But they never expected. This door had a spring lock. Their master key was instantly useless, yet the calm man quickly thinks of a solution. He gently lifts the iron door, then props the lower hinge with the key, pulls out the hacksaw from his coat, and furiously saws through the upper hinge. Then repeats the process, cutting the lower hinge as well. He removes the master key, and pulls out the broken pins inside. Just like that, the iron door is easily removed. Freedom is just 1 step away. But they don't rush out. Instead they take a matchstick, snap it in half, and wedge it into the hinge gap, hammering it flush with the key, making it blend perfectly. After finishing, the man climbs inside and rehangs the door. This way, they not only remove the door, but also disguise their work. Even if guards come here, they won't notice anything wrong. Excited, they enter the sewer, but it's sealed with thick concrete. This type is too strong. Ordinary tools can't break it, but the nearby walls use cheap cement. Scraping it off takes little effort. The man says they can dig through in a few days. Tomorrow they'll bring tools and start. Dawn is breaking. The guards will soon check their cells, but the 2 still aren't back. Luckily they make it just in time. After covering their tracks, they quickly lie back in bed, pretending to be asleep. The guards don't suspect a thing. After this the man realizes a major flaw. They don't have a watch, no way to track time. If they'd been 10 seconds later, they'd have been caught. To avoid detection, they need to make a timer. For better coordination, one prisoner fakes an illness to see the doctor, stealing 2 glass bottles, then sneaks sand into his pockets. Despite knowing guards search inmates, Charlie takes the risk, because he already has a plan.
Pourquoi tu veux du sable?
C'est pour écœurer les gamines qui n'ont pas de mal à ça. Ou bien que les choses soient propres. Alors comme on n'a rien.
Since sand isn't like spoons or metal bars, which could dig escape tunnels, the guards let him pass without suspicion. With the materials, a simple hourglass is quickly made. Testing it shows, each full drain takes half an hour. Now with the hourglass, they can roughly track time. He and his partner bring tools into the sewer, first building a wooden platform, placing the hourglass, marking a circle on the wall, then starting to chip away. The cheap cement crumbles easily. Soon a large patch is scraped off, revealing bricks beneath. These bricks are the real obstacle. During a break, the man reshapes the bolt into a proper key, checking the time. It's already 2 p.m. Time to switch shifts. He tugs his partner's foot with a rope, waking him up. Right then the guards do their rounds, again fooled by their dummy setup. The man leads the next shift to their work spot. After briefing them, he heads back to rest. The 2 begin their day's labor, but trouble strikes the next day. The cell's faucet breaks. Water leaks non-stop. If it bursts during their digging, the noise would alert the guards, ruining everything. To prevent disaster, Charlie calls the guards, reporting the broken faucet. Soon a prison plumber arrives to fix it. He goes to the bathroom 10 times a day, but never wipes his butt. Instead he crumples paper into little balls, wets them and squeezes out the excess water, then coats them with glue to hold their shape, finally wraps them in more paper, compresses, and kneads, until he's made an escape key. When the guard removes his handcuffs, he secretly stuffs a paper ball into the lock. This lets him push open the small window from inside, reaching the external electronic lock. But how to get the passcode? The clever man just glances at his milk carton, and instantly gets an idea. He flattens it with his foot, then uses a spoon to scrape out the inner wax layer. Finally, when the guard isn't looking, presses the wax onto the keypad. Now he's got the passcode imprint. After trying each digit one by one, the cell door swings open. But to truly escape, this isn't nearly enough. He needs 2 more conditions met. First, learn the guard's patrol patterns to find the perfect timing. Second, have someone waiting outside. Though the prison seems ultra secure, it has one fatal flaw. The solitary confinement cells are right next to an unguarded fire station. So he picks a fight on purpose, getting himself thrown into solitary. There he studies the routine, finding only 2 guards on duty, who regularly step out to smoke, creating his perfect escape window. Through the ceiling grate, he clearly hears the rooftop door, opening and closing, timing their smoke breaks at exactly 7 minutes. Lastly, he uses the security cameras to signal his hacker friend the escape time. With everything ready, time for the real plan. After unlocking the door, he first rewinds the surveillance footage, faking that he's still in his cell, buying more escape time, then crawls through vents, straight into the fire station, changes into a fireman uniform, while the 2 guards keep smoking upstairs. Now for his partner's move. The woman stages an explosion in the prison parking lot, triggering the fire department response. Our man's already hidden under a truck, with everyone distracted by the fire. No one notices him, escaping right under the guards' noses. But he's no criminal. He's hired by federal agencies, a professional escape artist testing prison security. In 7 years he's broken out of 15 prisons, dubbed the uncontainable man. Yet reality hits hard. The CIA approaches him, wanting a test run on a private prison, holding the world's most dangerous criminals. Clearly this test is far riskier, but Dragon accepts. He can't let these monsters escape, unaware this test will cost him his freedom. Capture day arrives. The CIA provides a new identity and coded phrases. As backup they implant a tracker. Yet right outside, he's tossed from behind, kidnapped before reacting. They detect the tracker with metal scanners, crudely cut it out with a knife, then inject him with sedatives. Dragon blacks out. Waking up later, he's stunned. This prison is unlike any other. Glass cells suspended in air offer zero privacy. Armed guards in full masks leave no weaknesses. Worse yet, 360 degrees cameras watch every inch of his cell. This extreme security makes him reconsider, meeting the warden. He gives the official abort code, expecting release. Instead, the warden ignores him, orders intensified surveillance. Only then does Dragon realize he's been double-crossed. The old man originally intended to bury himself alive, unexpectedly dug up a gold nugget shaped like a dog's head. He excitedly brushed aside the nearby dirt. The golden light shone on his face. He never expected that on the road to seek death, he would dig up a mountain of gold. The old man excitedly covered his mouth, not letting out a single sound. This gold was enough to keep him fed and clothed for the rest of his life. Little did he know this was also the beginning of his disaster. After digging out all the gold, the next day he set off toward the city, planning to exchange all the gold for cash. However, halfway there he encountered Nazi soldiers defeated in World War II. Seeing the old man pass by, they each showed arrogant and overbearing expressions, because they had just plundered a village and taken all the women. When the old man passed by the officer with the gold, the officer stared at him intently, but the old man paid no attention and continued on his way. At this time, a soldier nearby wanted to shoot the old man, but just as he was about to pull the trigger, the officer stopped him, not out of kindness, but because there were no living people left where they were passing, and there were reinforcements behind, so there was no need to waste bullets. And on the old man's way back to the town, he saw corpses hanging in midair. The old man felt pity for them. During the chaos of war he just wanted to survive. But soon, he encountered another group of Nazi soldiers. A man blocked his way, and spotted gold prospecting tools on his horse. He immediately ordered his men to search him, but completely failed to notice that the old man had already reached the edge of his patience. Then the gold-filled bags were confiscated by the soldiers. Knowing trouble was coming, the old man crouched and let the hunting dogs go first. The soldiers raised their guns contemptuously, ordering the old man to kneel, unaware of the anger glowing in his eyes. Just as the soldiers excitedly thought this ill-gotten fortune was secure, the old man's hand had already gripped the knife at his waist. The other soldiers froze on the spot. In the split second they drew their guns. The old man acted. He moved so swiftly that everyone gasped their last before they could react. The intense gunfire alerted the officer retreating in the distance. When he returned in a tank, he was speechless at the scene before him. Seeing the bodies sprawled everywhere, it was clear that the old man was no ordinary man, holding the gold handed over by the soldiers. The officer immediately realized the old man still had more gold, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He wouldn't let it go. Soon the officer chased in the tank. To survive, the old man rode desperately. 2 shells fired. The old man was unharmed. Heavy machine guns followed, firing wildly. The old man raced through a hail of bullets, like he was cheating reality. Hundreds of bullets didn't even scratch him. The officer used binoculars to track the old man's direction. It was close enough to kill him and take all the gold. Yet he didn't rush. Instead, he stopped in place, without any intention to move. This unusual behavior made the old man uneasy. He calmed his horse and moved forward. Suddenly, It was a trap they had laid. His horse, his companion for years, was blown into a skin bag. The old man was in extreme pain. Fortunately, the horse absorbed all the damage. The hard-earned gold scattered on the ground. The old man bent down to pick it up. This was his only guarantee for the rest of his life. But now the Nazi officer was catching up. Seeing the shiny gold on the ground, his eyes were filled with greed. The old man quietly picked up a stone in his hand and slowly stood up. After a brief stare down, the officer ordered fire.
Now.
The soldiers were enveloped in a cloud of smoke. The old man used a gold pan to shield himself from the rain of bullets, retreating slowly. Suddenly, the officer ordered to stop shooting. Sent 2 soldiers through the smoke to kill the old man. But even though they had buried the mines themselves, they didn't know the exact locations of all the mines. The 2 soldiers ran in despair and were obliterated. When the smoke cleared, the old man was gone. They only found a dirt-covered dog tag near a mine pit. From the tag, they learned his name, and when superiors heard the name, they ordered immediate return, because the tag belonged to a top special forces soldier feared by all. During the war he had killed 300 Russians alone. He was a one-man suicide squad, nicknamed the Eternal Warrior. That they survived until now was pure luck, but the officer scoffed at these legends. He ignored the general's order to return. Instead, he was determined to get the 2 bags of gold. At this point they were about to lose the war. Only by taking the gold could they have a way out. Meanwhile, the old man who escaped alive lied exhausted beside an abandoned car. During the battle, his arms and legs were shot. Without urgent care, he could hardly continue. To stop bleeding from his arm, he applied charcoal ash, then tightly wrapped his thigh with a belt, dug the bullet out with a dagger. After all this, he was exhausted. Extreme pain and fatigue made him pass out. Soon, the Nazi officer arrived with 2 hunting dogs. Fortunately, the noise woke the old man. Seeing the enemy close, running was too late. Staying meant the dogs would find him. To survive, he made a bold decision. As the transport truck approached, he slipped under the chassis. But dogs have keen noses. He knew this, so he stabbed the gas tank with a knife. Gas sprayed out instantly, the air filled with fuel, overpowering the dog's sense of smell. When the soldiers noticed and stopped, the old man ran to a nearby river, but was shot in the calf by a sniper. The officer immediately released the hunting dogs. Seeing them rush, the old man calmly struck a match. The fire stopped the dogs in their tracks. Seeing this, the officer ordered to shoot the old man. To survive, the old man jumped into the river, grabbed weeds to sink himself. The Germans waited on the shore, assuming he would surface for air. Sure enough, after 30 minutes underwater, he surfaced. Soldiers pulled the trigger. Blood rose to the water surface. The officer thought he was dead, sent men to retrieve the gold, unaware it was a trap. As soldiers searched, the old man appeared like a ghost behind them, slashed a throat, drained all the oxygen from the body. Water erupted red. The 2 soldiers on the boat were terrified. The officer didn't care, ordered more soldiers into the water. They suffered the same fate. Seeing their comrades die, the remaining soldiers froze, defying the officer. They tried to escape by boat. The officer ordered a sniper to execute them, but strangely, the boat kept moving. The old man used it as cover to swim to shore. Angry soldiers opened fire, but he anticipated it, carrying the soldiers' bodies as a shield. Using his superior physique, he escaped their ambush. The officer, frustrated, was about to give up when the old man's dog suddenly appeared, giving the officer hope. Surviving meant wealth. With gold, freedom. The old man returned to the town, but saw despair. The whole town was ablaze, once full of life, now turned to hell by invaders. The old man collapsed amid the ruins, blood flowing down his leg, nearly unconscious, clutching the gold. In a daze, he hallucinated, hearing horses, babies, explosions. Suddenly, he heard his dog, relieved it was alive, but noticed a bomb strapped to it. To save the dog, he removed the bomb and threw it. The blast knocked him out. When he awoke, the officer was there. Soldiers tied him up. Seeing him unconscious, the officer patted him and left with all the gold. Once they left, the old man regained consciousness, tried pressing his foot on a nail to relieve the rope. Too far, too small a force, failed multiple times. To survive, he forced a steel rod into his calf, relieving the tension. Survived until dawn. A plane flew overhead. Strong winds tore the billboard. The old man slid down. The pilot saw him, but decided to shoot. The old man struggled painfully. Another soldier heard gunfire, thought the old man was dead.
And the dog!
No response. He sensed something. He approached, saw a comrade on the ground, hit unconscious by the old man with a brick. He stroked the gold in his hand, unwilling to accept. The pilot moved, raised a gun to shoot, then thought of something, seeing the recovering pilot and the plane nearby. A crazy plan formed. But first, treat his gunshot wounds. To stop bleeding, he lit a match and stuck it into the wound. Removed a chest shrapnel. Worst, a large shrapnel in his waist. He pulled it out with bare hands, cut wire into small segments, bent each into a barb, sewed torn flesh together. Each stitch was agonizing. Even the pilot nearby winced, then poured gasoline over his wounds, disinfected them. After all this, the real revenge began. Meanwhile, the retreating Nazis found a crashed plane blocking their path. Pilot dead. Strangely, the rope around the pilot's neck was the one they used to hang the old man. The officer sensed danger, ordered immediate retreat. Any delay meant death. Soldiers scrambled into the truck. Before one could ask, he suddenly died. A soldier tried to peek. Next second, the tank crushed him. The old man climbed into the truck, distributed guns to captive women, the driver unaware, until a knife pierced the roof. Too late. No one could escape. The driver turned, saw the women driving alongside. Too late to stop. They used the women as living targets, fired continuously, showing no mercy. Because the women suffered at soldiers' hands, they treated them extra harshly. When told casualties were high, the officer didn't stop firing, instead ordered to accelerate. But death loomed overhead. 3 in the tank heard knocking. A pick hit the hatch. Fear ran through them. Driver slammed brakes. The tank stopped. The old man was thrown off. Soldiers fired. The old man was already at the rear. Strangled a soldier, threw him. A fierce fight ensued. The soldier could fight back for a bit, but after a punch to the forearm, both fell from the tank. The officer watched delighted, ordered the last subordinate to full speed. The old man didn't immediately chase. 2 soldiers on motorcycles caught up, thinking they were safe. The old man raised a hand, scared them. They abandoned bikes. He didn't kill the sniper. Rode a motorcycle to chase the tank. As the soldier felt relieved, 5 women approached with weapons. Everyone had to pay for their sins. Soon, the officer reached the rendezvous. Leaving meant wealth. The pilot saw 2 people, gave a subtle signal. The officer understood. Thought escape was safe, but death was approaching fast. The old man raised weapons, fired at the cockpit. Plane about to take off. The old man raised a pick and charged. They thought they escaped, but the old man hung from the plane underside with the pick, until it pierced the cabin. They realized danger. He threw the pick, knocking the gun away, and charged. Close combat. The old man had fought 300 rounds, and was starving, physically at the limit. No match for the officer. Quickly one-sided fight. Even so, he struggled to stand, eyes full of killing intent. The officer wrapped a belt on his hand. Even bloodied, the old man didn't close his eyes. He struggled to stand, eyes releasing killing intent, when the officer struck again. After finally dealing with him, the plane tilted. He rushed to the cockpit. Pilot dead, grabbed his gold bag, tied himself to the tail wall. When the dust settled, muddy water bubbled. The old man survived again. He climbed forward step by step, carrying the gold bag on his shoulder, stepped out of the swamp. Then the injured man appeared at the bank, poured the full bag of gold on the table.
Seteleitä, isoja. Kiitos.